Thank you very much, William. I think you pointed out a few very important things. Just to mention a few, the issue of non-state actors, how do we deal with them at states? That's completely out of the scope of international organizations, but that's a very important aspect to be dealing with. And indeed, as you say, we are living in very interesting times. With that, with great honor, it's a great honor for me to introduce to you our last speaker, certainly not least, Mr. Kim Won-soo, Undersecretary General and High Representative for Disarmament Affairs at the United Nations. Mr. Kim Won-soo assumed his position as Undersecretary General and High Representative for Disarmament Affairs in June 1st, 2015. Mr. Kim has also served as Ambassador to the Republic of Korea, leading the transition team for the 8th Secretary General of the United Nations. Mr. Kim brings diplomatic and policy experience for over 37 years, both bilateral and multilateral, beginning in 1978 when he joined the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Kim holds a bachelor law degree from the Seoul National University, Republic of Korea, and a master arts degree from the Paul H. Niche School of Advanced Studies at Johns Hopkins University, United States. In addition, he was a visiting fellow at Stanford University and did doctoral research in international law. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Kim.
Thank you, Ido, for a very kind introduction. I think because James Lewis covered most of the ground I'm supposed to cover, so not much left for me. And also it eases the pressure, time pressure on me because I have to run to the airport immediately following this session. So I will limit myself to broadly 3 points. Before doing that, it would be remiss if I don't recognize the hospitality and superb organization done by government of Israel, together with ICRC and Tel Aviv University and other organizers for this important event. My first point is a little more elaboration on what GGE has been doing and what they are going to do, and with a little also apology. GGE has been very unique on cybersecurity because although James said it is early, but they already spent 10 years. And UN is a global platform to discuss and devise a normative framework for the international community, and UN has 193 member states. But because of the division on the fundamental vision about what should govern cyber space, member states even couldn't start deliberations among 193 member states. So instead, they asked Secretary General to compose a very small group of government experts. We started 10 years ago, and now, next to GGE, the 5th of its kind, will have 25 members. And I asked member states to expand the number at least to 30, to accommodate a little larger number of member states, but it was not possible because, as Jim said, it is still difficult to build on the least common denominator last GGE produced. And he identified a number of issues that, although last GGE agreed that international law must apply to protect critical infrastructure, but still we do not know what kind of critical infrastructure should be protected, not only in peacetime, but also in conflict situations, and what kind of law. That will include international humanitarian law and also international human rights law, because still two contending imperatives: privacy, freedom of expression on the one hand, and state security. So which of the two should take primacy? And these underlying tensions still constrains the ability of the GGE to enhance the least common denominator of normative framework, although we all agree it should be voluntary, not legally binding, politically binding, but still with that caveat, it is not easy task for the future. And this comes my apology, because I try hard to expand the number, and I was never lobbied so heavily at such a high level for a seat at this GGE, but I couldn't accommodate more than 25. So I feel very sorry not to be able to accommodate a number of member states who have very strong IT capability and expertise which they can offer for the future work of the GGE. But that's the reality we have to live with. So I once again want to reiterate that apology here in Israel. My second point is on the urgency as accentuated by the link made with, as Dr. Saito said, ABC, atomic, biological, chemical. At the UN, we use it CBRN, chemical, biological, atomic into radiological and nuclear. And through the several exercises involving the highest level of governmental leaders through many forums like Nuclear Security Summit process, whatever scenario-based exercise we are doing, it always involves three elements: CBRN material theft by the terrorism, and using cyber. So unless we find a way to fill the normative gap we have, it will mean that terrorist, violent extremists will thrive because they are always standing ahead of the curve, and international community, because of the division of member states on those critical issues, we tend to stand behind the curve. So we need to accelerate the pace of the work of the next GGE, and I count on Jim. I think he's liable for a lack of progress we all want to see so far, but I hope he will catch up for the next GGE. And he offers critical expertise, and he is the institutional memory of all those GGEs for the past 10 years. And we really count on your wisdom and experience as a guide to the next GGE. My last point is on the need to ensure coherence in various multilateral forums and initiatives. Reflecting that fundamental difficulty in the contending imperatives, whatever forum we have on internet governance, digital economy, global information, world society of information, it is not easy to come up with consensus views. But because of the important breakthrough made by the last two GGEs, now that outcome is being cross-referenced by other forums. So whatever we are doing at track 1, track 1.5, track 2, we need to ensure all our efforts can help each other in a mutually complementary and reinforcing way, rather than mutually competing. Because otherwise, those states who have different views will continue to shop between the forums. We call it forum shopping, and it will delay the consensus building by the international community. So we hope that whatever efforts we are making with the private sector and also with the government, business, industry, academia, we hope all those insights will be channeled through the GGE so that we will be able to enhance the level of the normative framework we are going to have for the future. And all these tasks, we all know that are very challenging, and it requires very intensive and creative thinking out of the box by all stakeholders and at all levels, meaning global at the UN, but regional, sub-regional, with organizations like OSCE, EU, many other regional and sub-regional organizations, and national, and by the governments and by the private sector, industry, business, and academia included. I hope initiative taken by Israel by organizing this type of conference will be emulated by a number of other countries in other regions in the months to come before next GGE starts its work, and also in between the sessions of the GGE, because GGE will meet every 6 months for a week. So a lot of things can happen between the intersessional periods. And we are encouraged by the willingness of a number of countries to organize similar events. And also we are encouraging a number of key states to help us in devising the way forward together. And I think our joint efforts should lead us to building a world safer, more secure, and also more open and accessible for everybody in the use of peaceful IT infrastructure and technology. And we count all of you. I thank you so much.